Yin is watching TV, leaning on her husband's shoulder. She's clutching her favorite potato chip jar. Occasionally, her eyes glance at her husband, who is still busy working on his tablet. Even though he seems busy, Jungkook's hand always gently strokes her head, indicating that he doesn't ignore her. Park Yin and Jeon Jungkook got married 6 months ago. Despite just graduating from college, Yin firmly accepted his proposal. Their ages are not far apart. Jungkook is 3 years older than Yin. They used to study at the same university. Jungkook is a senior to Yin. When Yin first entered the college world, Jungkook was already in his 4th year, which meant he would soon graduate. During the freshman orientation, Yin immediately became acquainted with Jeon Jungkook because many students were talking about him. Jeon Jungkook is indeed popular on campus. Besides being smart, he is also very handsome. Not many people personally know what Jeon Jungkook is like. All they know is that Jeon Jungkook is a very cold person. He doesn't like small talk. Despite his cold demeanor, many women still try to approach him and end up being rejected. Those with high courage will dare to approach Jungkook even if rejected multiple times, while those with low courage can only admire him from afar. One day, Jungkook accidentally saw Yin in front of the gate. The day was nearing evening, but she was still standing alone as if waiting for someone. Several times she checked her phone and tried to contact someone. Her face looked worried. Perhaps she was afraid she couldn't go home, especially since it was almost night. Somehow, Jungkook, who usually acted indifferent, finally stopped his car in front of Yin. The car window immediately opened. "Come on, get in. What's going on? I'll take you. Are you waiting for a ride?" "Actually, yes, but it seems my driver can't come immediately because the car has a flat tire on the way." "Alright, then get in so I can take you. Are you sure it's okay? Won't it inconvenience you?" Jungkook now sighed softly, surprised that there was a girl who hesitated to accept his offer like this. "Come on, I'm not a bad person, and I won't kidnap you. I'll take you to your parents' house." Yin, feeling uncomfortable hearing that, realized that Jungkook was a little offended by her behavior, so she immediately got into the car. In the car, both of them seemed reluctant to start a conversation, but Yin tried to lighten the mood because, after all, she was the one hitching a ride with Jungkook, so it was only fair that she tried to be friendly. "You're our senior, Jeon Jungkook, right?" "Yes. Call me Jungkook." "Alright, thank you, Jungkook, for being willing to take me." He just nodded with a faint smile, but after that rare incident, Yin and Jungkook were often seen together. Jungkook didn't expect that he would get along with Yin. The way she talked, her lively eyes when she told stories, her gaze and her adorable behavior made him comfortable around her. Until finally, after 2 weeks of being seen together, Jungkook asked Yin to be his girlfriend, which was gladly accepted by Yin. News of their relationship spread quickly on campus, leaving many people heartbroken. They didn't expect Jeon Jungkook, who was never seen close to a girl, to now be the boyfriend of a student who had only set foot on campus a few weeks ago. But that's love. It can come anytime and to anyone. Their relationship turned out to be really serious, and eventually, when Yin graduated, Jungkook proposed to her. And here is Yin, becoming Mrs. Jeon in a luxurious house with all the complete facilities. There's a chef, maids, and several other people employed by Jungkook here. He doesn't allow Yin to do heavy work. He doesn't want Yin to get tired. He loves his pampered wife dearly. "Hubby, not finished yet?" Yin asked while slightly tilting her head, her eyes already droopy with weak blinks, indicating she was already sleepy. Her adorable face made him unable to resist kissing his wife's tiny lips. "Almost done. She buried her face on his chest, seeking comfort because her eyes were already sleepy. Jungkook quickly finished his work because he knew, even though Yin was very sleepy, she wouldn't be able to sleep soundly unless she was in bed and hugged by him. Moreover, Jungkook didn't want Yin's body to get sore if she leaned on his chest for too long in this position. Jungkook then carried her to their bedroom. He chuckled softly as he looked at her eyes, which were closed but occasionally opened. His wife was truly beautiful and adorable. He placed Yin on their large bed and immediately embraced her small body. Yin wouldn't be able to sleep soundly if she wasn't hugged by him. "Good night, my love." Jungkook kissed her forehead before joining her in the dreamland. As usual, Jungkook woke up earlier. He looked already neat in his suit when he found Yin just waking up and sitting with a typical sleepy face. "Good morning, hubby. Is there a morning meeting?" "Yes." Then Yin stood up and walked towards him. She immediately hugged her husband's body. Yin wrapped her arms around his neck, her face nestled in the crook of his neck, inhaling the familiar scent of his cologne that made her comfortable. "Get ready for breakfast. I'll wait for you at the dining table." Jungkook said while gently stroking her head. Yin nodded and finally released her embrace. She immediately went to the bathroom to clean herself up before joining her husband in the dining room. Yin entered the dining room and saw Jungkook sitting alone, playing with his phone while waiting for her. She immediately sat beside him, embracing her husband while leaning against him. With limited movement, Jungkook quickly took 2 slices of bread filled with her favorite strawberry jam. Jungkook cut the bread into small pieces and placed them in front of her, making it easy for her to eat. Their conversation was rarely heard during the meal. Jungkook had always been a person of few words, and Yin didn't mind. Yin herself was the type of woman who preferred to receive and appreciate acts of service and physical touch rather than sweet talk. For her, Jungkook's actions were more important than a million sweet words spoken from his mouth. Because Yin herself was very spoiled, if she used to be spoiled by her parents, now it was Jungkook's turn to be her target. Thank you, hubby. Yin accepted the bread with delight. Jungkook always managed to warm her heart with his actions. Are you coming home late today? Not sure yet, but I'll try to come home early. Oh, by the way, I want to meet Yuju today. Is it okay? I haven't seen her in a long time. I miss her. Jungkook seemed to think for a moment. Alright, but you have to be accompanied by the driver. Don't drive yourself, and don't come home late. Okay, hubby. She gave him a brief kiss on the cheek as a sign of her gratitude. Yes, I'm done. Yin accompanied him to the door. Jungkook gently kissed both of her cheeks, then her forehead, and finally her lips. Take care of yourself. Yin nodded with a smile, and Jungkook immediately left for his car and went to work. She quickly entered the house and headed straight to their bedroom to get ready. She couldn't wait to meet her friend. Yuju. Yin shouted and ran excitedly towards Yuju, who was already waiting for her at the caf table where they were meeting. Yuju cringed in embarrassment. Her friend, now a respected Mrs. Jian, still acted like a child sometimes. Keep your voice down, Yin. Can't you see we're attracting other customers with your shouting? Yuju said in an annoyed tone, but Yin just flashed her a wide grin. Well, I missed you so much. It's been a while since we last met because you've been busy with your job. I'm sorry, Yin, but building a business from scratch requires serious effort. Don't pout like that. They chatted lightly, catching up while waiting for their food orders to arrive. On the way home, Yin asked her driver to stop at the mini-market. She bought a lot of chocolates. Her favorite fruit drinks and snacks with various sweet flavors dominated. Yin was indeed a lover of sweet foods. Tonight, she planned to watch her favorite drama while waiting for her husband to come home, so she needed plenty of snacks. After arriving home, Yin quickly rushed to clean herself up and went down to the living room. Her extensive purchases were already laid out on the table, ready to accompany her. Occasionally, Yin would cry with emotion or sadness while watching the drama. Yin was indeed a bit of a crybaby. She was too focused on watching the drama without realizing that Jungkook had already come home. Jungkook, seeing her behavior, could only shake his head in amusement. Your teeth might hurt if you eat this much chocolate. Jungkook sat next to Yin and moved aside the remaining chocolates. His face looked tired, but he still smiled at her. Hubby, when did you come home? I didn't know. Yin spoke with swollen eyes but smiled when she looked at her husband. Don't take all the chocolates. Can I have one more? No. You've already eaten a lot. Let's save the rest for tomorrow. Jungkook said firmly, indicating that he didn't want to be contradicted. Yin looked reluctantly at the chocolates that were now being moved by one of their maids because she had received instructions from Jungkook. Let's have dinner. Yin nodded, and finally they both proceeded to have dinner together. Now they have finished eating and are getting ready to sleep. As usual, Jungkook pulls Yin into his embrace, gently stroking her back to ensure she sleeps soundly. Lately, Jungkook has been coming home late often. His face looks weary, clearly indicating that he is very tired. There are issues in his company, so he needs to personally intervene to resolve them. This makes him work overtime more often and come home late at night. A few days later, Yin sits pouting on the bed, resting her head on the headboard. For the past few days, Yin has been feeling sad because Jungkook seems to no longer pay attention to her. He leaves very early before Yin wakes up and comes home late at night, leaving Yin waiting with heavy eyes. Jungkook never talks about company issues with her. He doesn't want her to worry. He thinks it's enough for him to deal with it. But Yin thinks differently. She feels neglected by him. Coming home late again? Yin asks as Jungkook enters the bedroom. Is there a problem at the company? Why don't you ever tell me? At least talking about it could lighten your burden. I'm tired, Yin. I want to rest. He is very tired. His head is pounding and he just wants to sleep. But Yin says things like that. Don't you realize that you've been neglecting me? You're not as attentive to me as you used to be. Do you no longer love me? Her voice rises. She's almost crying. Being accustomed to being pampered and cared for makes her heart ache when Jungkook doesn't pay attention to her. Enough, Yin. I'm tired. You should understand me instead of talking nonsense like this. Jungkook loses control. His mind is in turmoil and he doesn't realize he just snapped at her. Did you just yell at me? I hate you. Yin leaves the bedroom in tears while Jungkook runs his hand through his hair in frustration. He's still overwhelmed with emotions. He knows he lost control by yelling at her, but he's so tired and explaining everything to her seems exhausting. Jungkook lets Yin go this time. He's too tired and needs to rest. His head is pounding heavily. It's been 2 days since their argument that night and Yin has been sleeping in a separate bedroom. She's still angry with him. Her heart still feels heavy when she remembers his behavior towards her. It's the first time someone has yelled at her so loudly. On the other hand, Jungkook, who usually is gentle, now completely ignores her. He's still upset. How could Yin question whether he still loves her? Haven't the proofs he has shown so far been enough? Plus, the ongoing issues in the company make him need his own space. Every night, Yin can't sleep properly. She has tried various methods but still can't fall asleep. She's used to sleeping in her husband's arms. But now, they are fighting, so it's impossible for Yin to ask Jungkook to hug her. Finally, today, Yin found a solution by taking sleeping pills she intentionally bought earlier. She took 1 pill. Why am I still not sleepy? This pill is very small. Maybe I should take another one. 15 minutes later. Why is there still no effect on me at all? Is the dosage too low? Alright. Let me try taking another pill. 15 minutes later. Is this medicine even working? I haven't felt drowsy at all until now, even after taking 2. Alright, I'll add 3 more pills this time. I really must be able to sleep. Without much thought, Yin takes 3 more pills, so in total, she has taken 5 sleeping pills when the recommended dosage is just 1. 1 hour later. Sir. One of the maids ran to call Jungkook in his room. She was about to enter the guest room, intending to prepare some water for her nightly supply, but she was shocked by Yin's condition in the bedroom. What's wrong? Madam, sir. Madam fainted with frothing at the mouth. Like being struck by lightning, Jungkook was shocked and immediately ran to Yin's room. He was greatly surprised to find Yin unconscious in the middle of the bed. The foam was coming out of her mouth, and he noticed a bottle of pills on the nightstand. Sleeping pills? Damn, how could he forget that Yin couldn't sleep without being hugged by him? Jungkook cursed himself endlessly in his mind. He scooped up her body and ran a little. He was grateful that her pulse was still beating. He felt truly guilty, a sense of heaviness in his heart seeing her like this. Upon arriving at the hospital, Yin was immediately attended to by the doctor. Jungkook waited anxiously outside. He wouldn't forgive himself if anything happened to Yin. Time seemed to drag on slowly, tormenting Jungkook as he sat waiting. Finally, the doctor emerged, and Jungkook hurried over to him. How's my wife's condition, doctor? For now, the patient's condition is stable, but not yet fully stable. We will transfer the patient to the inpatient ward until her condition improves. Fortunately, the patient was brought here quickly. If it had been delayed, it could have been fatal. Well then, if you'll excuse me. The doctor smiled and then walked away. Jungkook breathed a sigh of relief. Thank goodness Yin was okay. Jungkook patiently waited by the bedside. His hand gently clasped Yin's, occasionally giving it a soft kiss. Unconsciously, tears streamed down his face, but he quickly wiped them away. Slowly, Yin's eyes fluttered open. She blinked, trying to adjust to the light. Jungkook's heart leaped with joy as he straightened up. Where am I? You're in the hospital. You fainted earlier due to an overdose of sleeping pills. Jungkook gently stroked Yin's head. Yin turned to Jungkook, attempting to release his hand. Why are you here? Aren't you busy? You could have just asked a maid to accompany me. Yin asked without looking at Jungkook, her gaze avoiding him. Forgive me, my love. I'm sorry for raising my voice at you yesterday. I didn't mean to. I care deeply about you. I apologize for my negligence, which made you feel neglected and led you to take those sleeping pills. Jungkook looked at Yin with sadness in his eyes, imagining what would have happened if they had been a little late. He knew he would regret it for the rest of his life. I promise not to repeat it. Can you forgive me? Yin turned to look at Jungkook, seeing the sincerity in his eyes. Do you promise? Yin extended her pinky finger, making Jungkook chuckle affectionately. I promise, my love. No more pouting. I miss the sweet smile of my spoiled wife. Yin smiled widely. Finally, they reconciled. In that case, I want to sleep now, and I want you to hug me until I fall asleep. With pleasure, but before sleeping, there's something I want to do first. Jungkook smiled mysteriously, leaving Yin puzzled. He then climbed onto the bed. The bed was large enough for both of them, so they didn't feel cramped. Jungkook hovered over her, gently kissing her lips, catching her off guard. Hubby, this is a hospital. I don't care. I've missed these sweet lips so much. Jungkook continued his actions, alternating between softly kissing her upper and lower lips. He gave long, lingering kisses that made Yin unconsciously moan softly. Hearing her moans only deepened their kiss. He released her lips and moved down to kiss her delicate neck, causing Yin to tense up. They were carried away by the pleasure they hadn't felt in a long time. His hand even slipped under her hospital clothes. Before their passion could overwhelm them, Jungkook stopped. He was still sane enough to realize they were in a hospital. We'll continue this when you're fully recovered. He gently stroked her swollen lips caused by their kiss. Yin lightly tapped his chest, her face now crimson with embarrassment. Jungkook chuckled softly. He shifted to her side. One of his hands slipped around her neck, acting as a pillow, while the other hand pulled her closer to be tightly embraced, finding their comfortable spot again after it had briefly vanished.